The Price of Desire, Shadow of Poverty, a tale of hunger, temptation, and redemption. Sadia was born into a house that never knew plenty. His father was a farmhand who earned enough to keep the kitchen fire alive, but never enough to silence hunger completely. As a boy, Sadia often slept listening to his mother's sighs that rose from empty pots and thin bellies. Poverty wasn't just around them, it was inside their bones. Yet Sadia grew up dreaming. He would sit by the roadside tea stall, watching the men who seemed to live better lives, men who wore clean shirts, smoked costly cigarettes, and spoke of money as if it were water. Sadia longed for that kind of ease, that kind of freedom. The first temptation, one evening, after a long day carrying bricks at a construction site, Sadia's friend Girish whispered to him, "Come with me tonight. There's a card game near the temple grounds. Easy money, brother, one win, and you'll never go to bed hungry again." Sadia hesitated. Gambling was a word that carried danger, but Girish's voice was honeyed. The thought of a quick escape from poverty wrapped around Sadia's heart like fire. That night he walked to the small shed lit by a single dim lantern. Cards were shuffled, coins clinked, and laughter filled the air. Sadia placed his first bet with trembling hands. To his shock, he won. The pile of coins slid toward him. Heavy with promise, that night, he bought his family hot meals, rice, curry, and even sweets. His children laughed. His wife smiled, and Sadia felt, for the first time, like a provider. Victory had intoxicated him. The mirage of winning. Days turned to weeks, and Sadia returned to the card table again and again. Every win felt like a miracle. Every loss felt like a temporary cloud. "Next time I'll win again," he told himself. The mirage of wealth kept him chasing. But gambling is a beast that eats silently. The more he played, the more he lost. Slowly, money slipped from his pocket, and hunger returned to his home. His wife noticed the change first. "Sadia, where's your wage? Why are the children crying for food?" Sadia lied, his eyes refusing to meet hers. "Work is slow, tomorrow will be better." But tomorrow never improved. The fall, one night, desperate to recover his losses, Sadia pawned his wife's bangles, the last treasure she had from her mother. He lost again. His hands shook as he walked home empty, his children asleep in hunger. His wife's eyes burned with silent fury when she discovered the truth. "You sold hope," she whispered. "You've let this demon into our house." Sadia wanted to protest, but shame pressed his throat. The house, already fragile, cracked with mistrust and sorrows. The shadow grows. Sadia sank deeper. Work became irregular. Gambling became routine. His family's respect dissolved. Neighbors whispered, pointing at the once honest man who had fallen into ruin. Hunger clawed harder than ever. His children grew thin. His wife, though strong, seemed like a tree with broken branches. Poverty was no longer just survival. It had become despair. One rainy night, Sadia sat alone under the leaking roof, the sound of water drops mixing with the echoes of his own failures. He looked at his reflection in the puddle, hollow eyes, trembling lips, a man chained by greed. That night something shifted. Sadia's youngest child crawled to him, weak but smiling, and placed a tiny hand on his father's knee. Innocence and trust, things Sadia thought he had lost, glimmered in that small touch. He broke down. Tears flowed for the first time in years. He held his son and whispered, "Forgive me, I have walked in darkness too long. Tomorrow I will not gamble. Tomorrow I will fight poverty the honest way." The next morning, Sadia went to the village head and begged for work. He carried